Hello everyone, and thank you very much for having me. My name is Hassan Amin, and today I'm here to talk to you about faith and food, with my faith of course being Islam. To put it into perspective, it is often said that first we eat and then we do everything else. And even if this quote doesn't apply to some of you, it certainly applies to me. But first, when buying food, Muslims living in Islamic countries have no issues, because everything which is available is halal by law. However, for Muslims like me, living in non-Islamic and European countries, we need to make sure we are only buying halal food, which, for example, only makes up 20% of the food available here in Britain today. But this begs the question, what does halal and other common terminology actually mean? Well, most people know that we Muslims don't eat pork, but there are many more animals which aren't halal, not just bacon. We have a set criteria in Islam to proclaim of whether or not the animal is halal, which means allowed, or haram, which means forbidden. Animals are haram if they bark, if they are carnivores, if their feet are not cloven, if they have a simple stomach, or if they chew the cud, similar to some of the Jewish laws on food. And other than that, the animal must be slaughtered quickly, and a prayer must be said as it is slaughtered. Blood must be drained from the neck, and then the animal is considered halal. Any other way of killing the animal, or any other way of it dying, would make it haram. Therefore, commonly perceived as halal meats such as chicken, lamb, sheep, and beef are not halal unless and until they have been killed in a way approved in Islam. And many of you will also know that alcohol and other intoxicants are not halal, unfortunately. However, a very small amount of alcohol is allowed in medicine. It is not halal, it is not haram, but it is makruh. And makruh means anything which is not forbidden, but allowed under special circumstances, such as alcohol in medicine, because medicine obviously has a different purpose compared to getting drunk. But another part of my faith is what we do when we eat. And the main thing is that we say, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, which means in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. And it's similar to how Christians do a prayer before eating some of their meals, because we do it in praise of Allah, in worship to Him, for providing us this meal as the originator of all life, and as the creator of the universe that we live in. Furthermore, in Islam, there are also many blessed foods, such as Abi Zamzam. Abi Zamzam is water from the well of Zamzam, Zamzam. And it first sprang up over 5,000 years ago under the feet of the Prophet Ismail, after his mother Hajra ran 7 times between the hills of Safa and Marwa looking for water to save her thirsty son. We believe that this water is the purest in the world. We believe it can satisfy both thirst and hunger, and that it can even heal you due to its blessed nature. But moving on from drinks to fruits, another very important food in Islam is dates, specifically ajwa dates. They are not only loved for their unique white lines and their delicious flavor, but because the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that one who takes 7 ajwa dates in the morning, he remains under the protection of Allah from magic and poison for the whole of the day. Therefore, Muslims hold them in a high regard and respect due to their blessed nature again. Many of you will also know about Ramadan, where Muslims fast for 1 whole lunar month every single year. And we are prescribed to break that fast with none other than ajwa dates. And when we break the fast, we recite, Allahumma laka sumtu wa bika amantu wa alayka tawakkaltu wa ala rizqika aftatu, which means, O Allah, I fasted for you, I believe in you, and I put my trust in you, and I break my fast with your sustenance. And this is because to Muslims, fasting is more than just fasting. Fasting is not an action. It is the abandonment of certain actions and pleasures for the sake of Allah. And when we fast, we grow attached to Allah. We detach ourselves from the worldly desires of a very temporary world. And on account of that, Allah gives rewards, both in this life and in the next, to those who rely on Him. Because Allah loves those who rely on Him. And Allah is the ally and the protector of those who rely on Him. But at the end of Ramadan, we celebrate Eid al-Fitr, a celebration to end the difficult period of fasting we have endured. On Eid al-Fitr, we cook delicious foods and desserts, too many to name here today. But we can only eat these after offering prayer, again using food as a way of demonstrating faith, desiring Allah and putting Him above all else, putting Him first. However, eating a few dates is allowed due to their aforementioned spiritual importance. There is also another Eid, Eid al-Adha, which we celebrate on the 10th day of the 12th month of the Islamic lunar calendar, Dhul Hijjah. And the day that celebrations fall on is dependent on the first legitimate sighting of the new moon after Hajj, the holy pilgrimage to Mecca, one of the 5 pillars of Islam. There is an obligation for Muslims to complete in this life. Eid al-Adha is the commemoration of the Prophet Ibrahim's devotion to Allah when he showed the faith when commanded to sacrifice his only son in the name of Allah. Allah, of course, replaced his son with a lamb after testing him. And to honor the absolute and true faith of the Prophet Ibrahim, Muslims who are financially stable sacrifice animals every year on Eid. And those who vow to sacrifice animals are not allowed to eat until after the animal has been sacrificed. But those who have not vowed to sacrifice any animals may eat after offering Eid prayer. Eid al-Adha is the largest food festival for everybody. And this is because the animal that is killed is split into 3 portions. One is for the person that sacrificed it. One is for their relatives. But then one is for the poor. But why? It is because Eid al-Adha is the commemoration of sacrifice. Being willing to give out of your own for others, for the sake of Allah, or at least out of empathy, cause and concern for those who need it more than you. And through the act of sacrifice, we show our faith in Allah. And to conclude, Muslims may only eat halal food, but haram food can be taken if there is no other option and your life is in danger. Because in Islam, your life is always more precious. And while Muslims use food for fun and for celebration, we also use it to deepen our relationship with Allah and to become better Muslims. Thank you very much for listening to me.